Have you ever encountered someone who seems to take pleasure in causing others pain? Today, we delve into a topic that's essential for personal well-being and societal harmony, recognizing the signs of what society often labels as evil behavior. Understanding the psychological underpinnings of these behavioral patterns is crucial. It's not about labeling or judging people, but rather about fostering a more empathetic, supportive, and safe community. We'll be exploring 7 distinct signs that may indicate an individual's malevolence, from a lack of empathy to habitual deception for personal gain. Remember, recognizing these signs is not about judgment, but rather about protecting oneself and others from potential psychological or physical harm. It's important to note that individuals exhibiting these behaviors may be battling their own internal struggles, possibly stemming from past traumas or mental health issues. Identifying these signs is not about judgment, but about protecting oneself and others from potential harm. Firstly, an evil person often takes pleasure in the suffering of others. This might sound harsh or even unbelievable, but it's a stark reality we can't overlook. This trait speaks volumes about a lack of empathy, a fundamental characteristic that helps us connect with and care for others. When someone relishes the pain or discomfort of those around them, it's a definitive sign of malevolence. It's like they're drawing energy or satisfaction from the turmoil they inflict, painting a disturbing picture of their personality. This goes beyond simple schadenfreude, the somewhat common but generally harmless pleasure derived from minor misfortunes of others. We're talking about a deep-seated joy in causing or witnessing significant distress. It's not just a red flag, it's a blaring siren, a call to action to protect ourselves and others. This sadistic pleasure is a clear sign of a harmful personality. Another sign is the consistent avoidance of responsibility. This behavior manifests in myriad ways. Perhaps it's a coworker who consistently passes off their workload, or a friend who never seems to own up to their actions. These individuals often have a knack for spinning a narrative where they are the perpetual victim, and someone else is always to blame for their missteps. They seem to live in a world where accountability does not apply to them. It's like a game of hot potato with blame, and they're always quick to toss it onto someone else's lap. This consistent shirking of responsibility goes beyond simple laziness or disorganization. It's a calculated move to avoid the consequences of their actions. It's a pattern that reveals a deep-seated unwillingness to confront their own faults or mistakes. This shirking of responsibility is another red flag to watch out for. The third sign is cruelty to animals. Just as human relationships can reveal one's character, so can their interactions with animals. Those who show malevolence often extend their harmful behaviors to animals, manifesting as mistreatment or indifference. Animals, with their innocence and inability to voice their distress in words, become easy targets for individuals looking to exert control or dominance. This might take the form of neglect, physical abuse, or even using animals to manipulate or threaten others. It's a disturbing expression of power, where the weaker party, often a defenseless animal, bears the brunt of the individual's aggression. It's also worth noting that this cruelty isn't always overt. Sometimes it's as subtle as an utter lack of interest or empathy towards animals' well-being. This indifference, this inability to recognize and respect the life and feelings of another living creature, speaks volumes about the person's capacity for compassion and kindness. Such behavior towards animals is a clear indicator of a lack of empathy and respect for life. The fourth sign is habitual deception for personal gain. Imagine a web, intricately woven with threads of lies, half-truths, and distortions. This is the world that malevolent individuals often create around themselves. Deception becomes a tool, a strategy to manipulate situations and people for their own benefit. These individuals have a knack for twisting reality, spinning tales that serve their interests, even if it means causing harm to others. This is profitable deception in action. It's not just the occasional white lie or bending of the truth we all may resort to at times. It's a consistent pattern of dishonesty, a game of smoke and mirrors, designed to deceive for personal gain. It's a dangerous game, leaving those in its path questioning their own perceptions, and often suffering emotional or even financial harm. This manipulative behavior is a key sign of a malevolent character. The fifth sign is the use of malicious criticism. Now, we're not talking about constructive feedback here. This is criticism designed to demean, belittle, and undermine. It's a tool often employed by those we might label as evil, to assert dominance or feel superior. It's a way of making others feel small so they can feel big. Consider this. A person who is secure in themselves, who possesses empathy and kindness, they build others up. They don't tear them down. But an individual who consistently resorts to malicious criticism, who takes pleasure in the discomfort it causes, well, that's a different story. This isn't about helping you grow or improve. It's about keeping you in a place that serves their need for control and superiority. So remember, criticism that adds value is one thing, but criticism that's meant to hurt, to belittle, to make you question your worth, that's something else entirely. Such destructive criticism is another sign of an evil individual. The sixth sign is a consistent pattern of self-interest. As we journey through life, we all have personal interests and comforts that we seek. However, individuals with harmful tendencies take this to an extreme. They prioritize their own well-being to such a degree that it comes at the expense of others. They may disregard the feelings, needs, or rights of those around them in their relentless pursuit of self-satisfaction. This can manifest in many ways, from consistently making choices that benefit them while disadvantaging others, to showing a complete disregard for the consequences of their actions on those around them. It's not just about being selfish, it's about a pervasive disregard for others in favor of oneself, a universal self-interest that prevails in all their interactions. And while it's healthy to care for oneself, the balance shifts towards malevolence when this self-care infringes on the well-being of others. This self-serving nature is another clear sign of a harmful personality. The final sign is external warnings about the individual's behavior. It's common that those who've had dealings with such a person in the past feel compelled to warn others. These warnings can come in many forms, from subtle hints to outright declarations of concern. They might come from ex-partners, former friends, or even acquaintances who have observed the person's behavior over time. These people, having experienced or witnessed the person's harmful actions, feel an urge to alert others. Often they have been on the receiving end of the very behaviors we've discussed, from lack of empathy to self-centeredness. They've seen the damage done and wish to prevent others from experiencing the same harm. These external warnings are not just casual comments or baseless gossip. They're distress signals from those who've been close to the storm. These external warnings should not be ignored and are a clear sign of trouble. So, we have discussed 7 signs that you might be dealing with an evil person. These include sadistic tendencies, evasion of responsibility, animal cruelty, deception for personal gain, spiteful criticism, self-centeredness, and external alerts. These patterns, though unsettling, help us understand the psychology behind behaviors we often dub as evil. It's not about passing verdicts, but about discerning potential threats and acting proactively to shield ourselves and those around us. Individuals manifesting these traits could be wrestling with their own inner demons, perhaps rooted in prior traumas or mental health conditions. This doesn't condone their conduct, but it emphasizes the need for expert intervention. Encouraging such individuals to seek professional help, setting clear boundaries, and safeguarding susceptible people is crucial. At a macro level, this underlines the importance of wide-ranging mental health awareness and resources. It's important to remember that identifying and acknowledging these signs is not about passing judgment, but about fostering a more understanding and safer society. So, let's continue to educate ourselves, remain vigilant, and promote empathy. Let's be part of the change we wish to see. Thank you all for your attention and for joining us in this important conversation.